Okay, so hello guys. Today we'll start our unit 7 about triangle congruencies, and let's start it. Okay, so here are some types of triangles. Let's start with Wilson. You can just like introduce.
Okay,
About
sure.
it.
So there are a few different types of triangles, and so if we distinguish them by side, we have equilateral triangle, which has 3 equal sides. We have isosceles triangle, which has 2 equal sides, and then we have scalene triangle, which has no equal sides. And then if we distinguish them by angle, we'll have acute triangle, which has 3 angles less than 90 degrees. And then we also have right triangle that has 1 angle equal to 90 degree. And then lastly, we have obtuse triangle, which has 1 angle larger than 90 degree.
Okay, so we will give you guys about 2 minutes. Like you write down whatever you need. And then if you have any questions, same as last time, if you came like next time, you're gonna ask it. Okay, so hope you guys write it down. If don't, you can just pause the video and then write whatever you need. So let's do some practice. First of all, Roger, can you do like number 1 and 2 wisdom?
Okay. So for the first one, which has 144 degree and 268 degrees angles. So this triangle has 2 angles that have the same degrees. So as we like and we can easily know that like for the two equal angles, the side they are opposite to they are equal. So this is an this is an isosceles triangle. And for the next one, we can see there's a right angle which is an angle which is 90 degree, and there are two there are two there are two angles with like they are both 45 degrees, and they are like and as we as I talked before, the opposite sides of the two equal angles they are like they are equal, and then it also has a right angle, so it is kind of a a special isosceles triangle, which is called maybe is it called isosceles right triangle? I don't really.
I think it's just right triangle. Well, yeah, it's does isolate. So, and then next you guys can try the rest of it by yourself, and then we're gonna check answer together after you're done, and we will give you about 1 minute to do that. Okay, so Kina go over like two of them, and Sophia can go over the last two.
Okay, so for the third triangle, since two of the angles are 31 degrees, that means these two sides would also be the same. So it means it's an isosceles triangle. And since it has one angle that's 118 degrees, and that's bigger than 90 degrees, it would also be an obtuse triangle. And then for the fourth triangle, this one down here, the all three sides are the same, so it's an equilateral triangle.
Cool, and Sophia?
So if you're classifying it by angles, because there's one angle that is 90 degrees, it is a right triangle. And if you classify it by sides, there are no angle measures that are the same. So you know it's a scaling triangle. And then the last one, by sides, there are no equivalent angle measures, so it's a scaling triangle as well. And there's one angle that's greater than 90 degrees, so that makes it an obtuse triangle.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, let's get into some angle congruencies. And let's see. So in the right, you can see kind of shapes. I mean triangles, like a couple different have eights. And then we'll give you some time to write it down, the angles, like relationships down below here. So like just remember it since it's important. And after 1 minute, Mike, you can go and like read the left part. Mike, you can start it right now.
Okay, so angle congruency occurs when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal. And there are 4 types of angle congruency: vertical angles, corresponding angles, alternating interior angles, and alternating exterior angles. So for vertical angles, there are a few examples. First, the angle number 1 and angle number 4 are vertical angles. Also, angle number 2 and number 3. For corresponding angles, there are angle number 1 and number 5, angle number 3 and number 7, and angle number 2 and number 6. For alternating interior angles, some examples include angle number 3, number 5, and angle number 4, number 6. For alternating exterior angles, they are angle number 7, number 2, and angle number 1 and number 8.
Cool, okay. So next one. Here has some practice. And if you like forgot the angle relationships, you can also like check it in the bottom. So let's see. Polo, do you wanna go?
Oh, okay. So what is the relationship between angle 1 and angle 3? So angle 1's over here and angle 3 is over here. So that means that these two are as like, vertical angles. So yeah, that just means they're congruent.
Okay.
Do you want me to do the other ones or?
Well, yeah, just number 2.
Alright, what's the relationship between 2, 4, and 5? So, if you look at the thing here, you can see that, like, 2 and the angles 5 and 4 combined are vertical angles. Since, you can just tell. So, yeah, they're vertical angles. 2 is vertical angles with 5 and 4. Or 5 plus 4.
Okay, so right now you guys can check for number 3 and number 4. Well, I mean, like you can do it by yourself and then we can check it together. Okay, so Marco, you can go ahead and then do 3, 4.
Yeah, so number 3, what is the relationship between 3, 4, and 6? So if you look at it, angle 6 is congruent to 3 and 4 combined, since it's alternative interior angles theorem. And then for number 4, what is the relationship between angle 2 and 11? It's this. They're both congruent as well. It's because of it's the traversal. Yeah.
Cool, okay. Yeah, here you go. More problem. The same as last one that we did. So let's do it. Let's do one together, and then we can, we can practice by ourselves. Wilson, for number 7.
Okay, so the relationship here, right? So you see, the two lines are parallel, so obviously they would work. And then, so if you look at it, right, then so angle A and angle B, they should be congruent because they satisfy the requisites in a way that it's not supplementary or complementary, and it is one of the angle combinations that it would make both of angles congruent to each other instead of having the set two qualities. So yeah.
Cool. And then you guys can do 8, 9, 10 together by yourself. And then after you are done, we can check answer together. Okay, so Eric, do you want to try 8, 9, 10?
As we can see, the angle A and angle B are on the different side of the line, which makes them. Sorry, I forgot the name. Can we go back to the previous slide? Yeah, which makes them alternate interior angles, which means they have the equal angle measurement. And for number 9, these angles, they're on the different side of the line, intersecting the parallel lines, which makes them, I believe it's alternating exterior angle. Still, they have the same angle measurement. And for number 10, yeah, and for number 10, they're on the same side, but however, they're on the different parallel lines. So that makes them have the equal angle measurement, but they're corresponding angles.
Cool, nice. So let's moving on. Yeah, so here is also the thing that you need to learn about angles. So from like previous, hope you already know, right angle is 90 degrees and complementary is 2 angle. Their sum is 90 degrees. And then like, let me see. So the complementary angles is just like this. You see here has like 1, 2 angles, but they're like sum together is 90 degrees. And then complementary angles, 2 angles, they're together is 180 degrees. So here, this one was the complement. Oh, I mean, yeah, the supplementary angles. Since like those two angles add together is up to 180. So this was the supplementary angle. And next one is adjacent angle, is two angles who share a common vertex and the sides but not overlapping. Just like this. Here is a like perfect, examples. So yeah, let's move on. And then if you want to take notes on the slides, you can like pause the video and then take notes. Okay, so right now you're gonna name the relationship together about them. So let's practice one together with, let me see, Roger, like just number 2.
Okay, for for number 2, we can see there are arrowheads that leads the line on the left side of your screen, and from that arrowhead we can tell that this is actually a line. This is not two segments divided by the third segment. This is a line. So a line's angle is 180 degrees. And as we all know, as we said before, like this angle includes two angles. One is angle A, and the other is angle B, and so the relationship between A and B, there are supplementary angles because their sum is 180 degrees.
Cool. And then you guys can try number 4, 5, and 6 by yourself. And then we can check answer later. Okay, so let's go over it. So for number 4, since the definition about the complementary angle is that like two angles add together are 90 degrees. So 1, 2, and then add together, we know is at 90 degrees. So it is a complementary angles for number 4. And then number 5 for Kina and number 6 for Sophia.
Okay, number 5, for A and B would also be complementary angles because one side, because this side is 90 degrees, so that means these two sides also has to be 90 degrees since the line adds up to 180 degrees.
So for number 6, you can see that they're neither supplementary angles or complementary angles, but they're still side by side, and they share a common line, so that means they're adjacent angles.
Cool. Okay. Yay. What is find the measurement of angle B? So here we can use the knowledge that we learned from last couple slides. So let's like do it together with like 2 maybe. So for 14, we know that here is 46 degrees. And then, so you know that B is also 46. And then let's do like one more together so you can see how it works. Polo for 15.
All right, so for 15, you're trying to find B. If you look at this thing over here, you can see that this angle and B and 39 are complementary. So B, that must mean that B plus 39 is equal to 90. So you just subtract 90 from 39 from 90, and then you get 51. B equals 51. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so you can try the rest 12, 16, 11 by yourself, and then we can check answer after you're done. Okay, so let's go over it. Marco, do number 12 and 11.
Yeah, so for number 12, the measurement of angle B, since it's alternative exterior angles theorem, it would mean that B is also 60 degrees. And then for number 11, you know that the angle that 65 plus B is 90, which means that B is 25.
Cool. And then 16, let's see. 16 for Wilson.
Okay, so similar idea. Since the two lines are parallel and it does satisfy one of our special relationships that we talked about earlier. And so in this case, we could get that angle B is actually equivalent to the angle that's marked out as 85 degree. And then we can get that angle B is equal to 85 degrees.
Cool. Okay, so let's moving on. Okay. So here are some important rules that's about triangle congruency. And then just let you know, so S represents side and A represent angle. So if we set S, that means sides. And if we set like side angles, SAS, that means side angle, side. So just to let you guys know. And then please write the thing down, the rules down, so you can like, you know. Okay, so if you are not finished yet, please pause the video so you can finish your notes. And then, yeah, let's get some practice. Let's go with Mike for the first one.
For this one, since they have the same side 5, 4, and the angle between them is all the same 100 degrees, we can use side angle side for this one to prove that they are congruent.
Cool. And then do number like the second one by yourself. Just try it. If you don't get it right, it's totally fine. Okay, so let's see. Roger for the second one.
And so for the second one, we can easily see that they both have two sides, which are one of it is is 5, and the other one is 4, and the angle between them they're the same, like they are both 100 degrees. So this is an SAS congruence. So these two angles they are congruent.
Cool. Okay. Okay, so more practice, but don't get like afraid. So let's do like 1, 2, 3 together, and then okay. So 1, 2 was Kina, and 3, 4 was Sophia.
So the first one would be SAS, or side angle side, because they have two congruent sides and then they share one side. So that means that one also has to be equal. And since the angles are also equal, it's going to be SAS. And for number 2, it would just be FS, because again, these two of the sides are equal, and then they share another side, which means it has to be equal as well.
Okay, so for number 3, you can see that there is a pair of congruent angles and then a pair of lines that are congruent, but then there's also the vertical angles in the middle. So that means number 3 is an SAS. And then number 4 is also SAS, because there are two different pairs of angles that are congruent, and then that line between them is also congruent.
Cool. Okay. So try the rest of it 5 through 9 by yourself, and then after you're done, we can check answer. So after 1 minute, Eric for 5, 6, and then let's see, and then Polo was 7, 8, and 9 was Marco.
All right. Okay. So for number 4.
Wait. After 1 minute.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead, Eric.
For number 5 in the image, you can easily identify that angle J and angle L are congruent, and angle MKL and angle JMK are also congruent. Since the angle, the total angle measurement of a triangle, the three angles of a triangle is always 180 degrees. So that basically means that the third angle must be the same. So we can know that these two triangles are similar. However, they also have a shared side, which is KM, therefore they're congruent. And for number 6, the line ON and the line NQ are congruent, and they share a same line, which is a same side, which is NP. And the angle between those two lines are labeled as congruent. Therefore, using the identity side angle side, these two triangles are congruent.
Cool. 7, 8, Polo.
All right. So for number 7, you can see that first of all, the sides A, B, and D, E are congruent. Are congruent. And then you can also see that the angles A and D are congruent. This means that according to the and then also, since from that you can also tell that these two angles are congruent. So from the ASA from the ASA thing, from the AAS, you know that the triangle is congruent. And then for this one, you know that these two angles are congruent and these two angles are congruent. From this you know that this is a right angle and this is a right angle. So according to the so according to the RHS thing, you know that these two triangles are also congruent.
Cool. Number 9 for Marco. Marco.
Yeah. Wait, what question is it? Because my
Number
Wi-Fi was
9.
bad.
Yeah, number 9.
Number what?
9. Last one.
Oh yeah, for number 9. For number 9, it's I don't really remember this one. Alright, for number 9, you have these two sides which are congruent, and then these two sides which are congruent. And then since this angle is also congruent, you know from the SSS thing that that the triangles are congruent.
Cool. Okay. So, yeah. So let's end it right here. If you have like any questions, just like leave it. And if you like don't get any points, you can go back and rewatch our lessons. And then I'm gonna like pause the recording.
Infinitive. So what is gerund? It means like the present continuing what you are doing now. Like it's emphasizing what a current situation. Like you only need to add ing to a normal verb, and but infinitive is it's basically add a to before your normal verbs, like to do, and in some situation you can either say gerund or infinitive. So for example, I like I like playing computer games. You can also say I like to play computer games. So in most situations, they are the same. Like it doesn't matter which one you use. But there are some rules. So for example, verb plus gerund. I enjoy playing. I denied stealing. Often we use we often use the gerund for an action that happens before or at the same time as the action of the main verb. Explanations. I enjoy I enjoy playing means I enjoy myself at the time of playing. I denied stealing means I deny having stolen anything before. And the examples of verb plus infinitive are I decided to visit my uncle. I want to go out. We often use infinitive to describe actions that follows the action of the main verb. For example, visiting my uncle was an action of my decision. It comes after, uh, which is uh, which is what we want to say when we say I decided to visit my uncle. That means we haven't visited, like we are not visiting our uncle now. Instead, like we are ready to visit our uncle. Um, and the next one, what I want to go out means I like I'm not out now. I'm but I'm ready to go out. Like what I want to do is to go out. So there are differences. In most situations, there are differences are based on their based on their like what they are emphasizing. Wait a minute. Um, but there are exceptions. Like for example, like the verb stop. If you say I stopped playing, which that means you are playing, but if you say I stopped to play, it means that you stopped something and then you go play. So that is a major difference because the first one if you use gerund, like it means you stop, you actually stop. But if you use infinitive here, it means you didn't stop, you just like switch your work. And verbs can commonly follow by a gerund. They can also be verbs that express likes or dislikes. Like you can understand it as you know like words similar to likes or dislikes. They can be followed by gerund. For example, I like playing. So, for example, like, love, enjoy, dislike, hate. I like playing soccer, but I hate boxing. Uh, and they can also be followed by infinitive. For example, I like to watch TV in the evening. Uh, and they can also follow some verbs such as admitted stealing the wallet, or advise I wouldn't advise buying a used car, and allow they don't allow smoking here. Uh, and allow can also be followed like allow can also be followed by an infinitive, like they allowed us to leave early. Uh, I forgot to explain one thing. I forgot to explain one thing, which is that if you use if you notice, there are typically two verbs in one sentence. So, for example, he anticipated passing the exam. So in this situation, uh, gerund and infinitive forms of a verb, they don't become the verb in this in one sentence, like like the like the sentence structure. Uh, like a normal sentence should have one subject, one object, and one verb. You cannot have two verbs that are just directly added together. So gerund and infinitive forms here, they are both uh, they are both not verb. And then avoiding, she avoided meeting him. For avoid, I don't think this word can be followed by infinitive form. Then appreciate, I appreciate working with you. Complete, they complete building their house. Consider, she considered starting a business. Uh, and and also, I don't think you can use she considered to start something. Because consider can only mean that you know, when you use consider, the thing you're thinking of that probably mostly haven't happened yet. And delay, she delayed doing her homework. He denied stealing the money. Finish, she finished writing the letter. Um, go swimming. He imagines meeting her. The job involves working in teams. He keeps claiming about his girlfriend. He mentioned working in that company. Would you mind helping me? He misses talking to her. Um, per permit, they don't permit smoking here. Um, don't permit smoking here. It can also be followed by infinitive, like they permitted us to leave early. Postpone. So what is postpone? Postpone is it's kind of advanced, but it basically means the similar with delay. They postponed traveling to Japan. Practice should practice painting. Um, reject working with them. Resist, he couldn't resist eating the cake. Risk, she risks losing her job. So risk is typically a word, noun, but here, like it is another way to use a noun. Like you typically use it as a verb to, like here the risk means you try something dangerous. And I suggest leaving early. Waste time. Don't waste my time complaining. And also, reminds me a similar word to waste. It is spend. Like I spend my time complaining. And here are some, and there are some like and the most important thing is that in English, there's not there isn't exactly like pattern of like which verbs are followed by doing, which verbs are followed by to do, and which verbs they can follow by both. I will give you some a list of like first this some of these verbs. So you only like the only way to make it correct is you can only like remember it. So for example, the verbs that can only be so the verbs that can be followed by to do. For example, attempt, enable, neglect, afford, demand, and arrange, destine, mean, begin, expect, omit, appear, determine, manage, seize, hate, pretend, ask, dread, need. Um, so I don't think these are too necessary to talk about because they can be followed by both, but here here are the verbs that must be followed by the infinitive form. So, for example, ask, get, prompt, allow, or allow can also be followed by doing. And forbid, prefer, announce, prefer can also be followed by gerund, but there are some specific uses on it. And advise, exhort, pray, authorize, help, recommend, bear, implore. I think we don't need to waste time on that. You can just search the internet, and they can also be used after prepositions like aim at, keep on, interested in, instead of, and good at, before, after. For example, I'm interested in collecting stamps, or after playing football, I drank orange juice. So in these examples, like if you use after in front of the sentence, you must like it must be followed by a gerund. Like after doing something, I do something. And and as you can see, I'm interested in collecting stamps. Although it is sometimes, although it is like it follows the prepositions, you can also you can still see that there is a verb before the preposition. It it's generally kind of a phrase of the a phrase of some verb that that expresses some advanced meanings of that verb. Like aim at, if you say aim, that's also reasonable, I think, but aim at doing something, like it makes more sense. And then you can use them after some expressions, like it is typically, like generally they are kind of fixed uses of the you know the forms gerunds or infinitives. So for example, it's no use doing something, it's no good doing something, there's no point in doing something, I can't help doing something, I don't mind doing something, I can't stand or bear doing something. So I can stand they usually means you know it usually means that you just you stand upright on your 2 feet. But here it means like you can't tolerate something. For example, it's no use convincing him to meet her, which means that it's useless to convince him to meet her. And I don't think we'll waste time on that. We can just enter the section. Like we can use infinitives after adjectives. It is the kind of the simplest use of infinitives. So like it's blah 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 to blah 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 to do something. For example, be determined to do something. Be disappointed. Be disappointed to do something. Be glad to do something. Be happy to do something. Be pleased to do something. And pleased, it's almost the same with happy. Like I'm glad to know that you passed the exam. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm disappointed to hear that you flunked math. So for example, I'm pleased to meet you, which means I can meet you, and it was pleasant. And you can also use infinitive form after to and enough. Like there are generally this, like for example, it's too difficult to do something. It means that something is difficult and it's easy enough to do something. It also means something is easy. For example, it's too difficult to convince him to be helpful, which means convincing him to be helpful is difficult. In this example, you can see the convert, you can convert infinitive into gerunds sentences, or you can like you can convert them mutually. Uh, and then the other example is, but it's easy enough to fool him to get what you want. Uh, yeah, it means to fool him, it is easy. Uh, and they can both followed by both an infinitive and a gerund. Like for example, the start, we start to do something or we start doing something, they are the same. Yeah, and that's pretty much the gerunds and infinitives, and this is very important. I suggest to you to, I strongly suggest you to like to search some useful and like some common words that can be used casually, which I mean that can be followed by both. Yeah.
Okay. You could go over. Give me a sec. Okay. Dad. Sorry. So idioms. What are idioms? An idiom is an expression, word, or phrase that has a figurative meaning conventionally understood by native speakers. This meaning is different from the literal meaning of the idiom's individual elements. In other words, idioms don't mean exactly what the words say. They have hidden meanings. An example is kick the bucket, spill the beans. The meaning of these expressions is different from the literal meaning or definition of the words of which they are made. Their meaning are however used figuratively. They mean respectively to die or to tell people secret information. English has thousands of idioms, and here are some lists of idioms. So we can do an exercise here. It says the teacher asked us to talk about the blank of industrial development. You can pause the video and try to see the answer. So the answer here would be pros and cons. So it's like the benefits and bad things about industrial development. The police found nothing special in the house of the criminal as he had taken all the important documents with him, leaving just, so right here would be odds and ends, which just basically means nothing. Don't worry about the problems you have in your business. You know there are always ups and downs in business, which means there's good stuff and bad stuff. If you think that doing this math problem is a piece of cake, which means it's just really easy. So all these promises these politicians make are just, I think it would be music. Actually, I've never heard this one before. I think it's music in the sky, which just means that what they say isn't true. It's false promises. The small amount of money donated is just a drop in the ocean because the drop in the ocean is like very small, and they're saying this money doesn't mean a lot. I had to face the I have to face the shoulder, I think. I think that just means like taking all the blame. They had a dispute yesterday. That's why she gave him the. Oh wait, that's the cold shoulder. Hold on. Uh, so cold shoulder just basically means like she's not talking to him. He has been successful in life. He went from rags to riches. Rags is like, I don't know, kind of like means like poor, I guess. He spends his time drinking and watching. He's no use to man or beast. That means he's not useful. So I guess this should be pi. I've never heard this one before. But yeah, we can check our answers. Oh yeah, I got this one wrong. Yeah, all these promises are just pie in the sky. I guess that means like false promises, and here I have to face the music all by myself. So yeah, these are some idioms.
Are you guys done with the lessons?
Okay, now we can do some practices here. You can choose the right answer. So for the first one, if she had driven or drove or would have driven carefully, she wouldn't have had that terrible accident. So in this question, we can find some clues in itself. So here, she wouldn't have had that terrible accident. This sounds very weird and it sounds hard, but once you notice, here it is it is it is a have had, which is a present perfect tense. Uh, and you see that the terrible accident, it is pretty much a consequence of something, and it's a consequence of she driving. So if you, so it's probably happened after the have after happened happens after she did something. So in this in this situation, we choose had driven because had driven. Uh, this is past perfect tense. Once once past perfect tense appears with a present perfect tense, it means that the present perfect tense happens after the past perfect tense. So so this should be had driven carefully, because because he drove carelessly, so he had that terrible accident. So we'll continue to the next one. Tomorrow morning, I will do the housework while my husband will be at work. Okay, so this question is it sounds hard because like we can first exclude one option, that is I am doing, because it says tomorrow, which means it should be a future tense, and the future tense must have a will or like something like will, but am doing here is a present tense. But and then we can see here is a be at work, and then we can tell that here should also be a be doing something. So I will be doing the housework while my husband will be at work. And you can also notice when you use the word while in your sentence, you're probably mentioning the like two things that happens in the same time, and they're also they're usually both of them are uh, like continuing tense. And for the next one, he decided help helping his his wife with the housework. Did you remember the thing I just teach you? I just taught you um infinitive form and gerund. Here is a real examination of that. So here, as I said before, just recall what I said. Uh, decided it should be followed with to do something. So it should be he decided to help his wife with the housework. So is there any tutor who want to continue with the questions?